What up, YouTube? How's it going? So yeah, started a minute late because Kenny from Missing Falls stopped by to drop off a so long and thanks for the pills, a 5% German Pilsner. So I think he's officially the channel sponsor now. So it's like some of the usual suspects. Got Large Marge, Dylan, Patrick, what's up? Jay Dandy, Rick, Roger, good evening. Pudgy, I already said Pudgy. Less than rocket science. Yeah. I did test the desktop audio, so everything should be working with audio this time. Let me know if it's not, and also it's set up like it always was. I didn't change a single thing, and it's working the way it's supposed to, which is makes no sense. Hey, what's up, JMZ? It's nice and refreshing. Hey, Patrick. Oh, yeah. Hooks. No autofocus again. That still, for some reason, will not turn on. Haven't figured that one out. Haven't really tried, but haven't figured it out nonetheless. So I was looking at, hey, what's up, Summit? Hey, what's up, Broadford? Strange animal noises. That's just me. Actually, strange animal noises. I was recording a video for the Ohio and Erie Canalway today, and we were recording an Ohio State Senator, Vernon Sykes, outside, and I didn't want to use lapel mics just with COVID and all that, so I set up a mic real close to him with a wind, one of those dead cat wind sleeve things on it, and baby birds just started chirping the whole time. So, Dylan, if you get a message from me about how to remove bird noises from a dialogue, that's why. But I was thinking it's possible because they were high pitch enough that I might be able to cut them out. Might have to get into whatever Adobe sound program is for that one. But everything's black and white. Yeah, it's old timey tonight. The one thing I can see, I actually can see what the video looks like. I can never hear what it sounds like. But basically what I did this time is I played a YouTube video and saw that the faders were bouncing before I came on, so it should be good. But, also I might turn into a robot. Never know what can happen here. I was looking at what people were drinking. I saw Rusty posted this actually on Tuesday right before we signed off. It was a triple IPA. Black Star Brewing. Oh, 10.3. Nice. I don't think I got to it, but it's always a little hazy by the end of the evening. Looks like Large Marge was having an end of the night beer at work. So that looks like his work desk. A Brew Dog. East Coast Crusher. Yeah, so in New England. Pudgy. And Pudgy's drinking a Clown Shoes Space Cupcake IPA, limited release. I haven't had that one. JMZ's got a Champagne of Beers, a High Life. And Large Marge has The Last of His Vlads. And I'm not familiar with do I know that brand that makes that koozie? Randy Joe Fab koozie for maximum coolness. It looks like a cool, like a rad handmade or koozie, but I'm not familiar. Yeah, nice. Dylan has a few ideas to get rid of the birds. Hey, what's up, obsolescence? BB gun for the birds. This was at an apartment complex over there. Well, if you're familiar with the Strava segment, it's the Bumps, but Park East, Collis Towers, where people were getting their COVID shots. So probably not a good idea to bust out a BB gun there. But if it was the farm I worked at, it would have been a shotgun. So. Did I say what's up to Summit Perry? I saw he jumped in probably when I was rambling. And Patrick. I don't It's tasty. I haven't had more of a straight, more normal style beer for a little while now.
Large Image super chatted $2. Banana, 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 chatting so hard right now. Banana, banana, banana.
Nice. And Pudgy says he's got some birds for Rick with 5 middle fingers. What's up, William? How you doing? Sorry, I'm like stretching my legs while I'm standing here. I've been lifting. I've been organizing the basement. We were talking the one stream about possibly doing like a studio tour video, and that kind of got me thinking about how there's some stuff downstairs around my workspace that I've wanted to clean and organize and get in better shape. And I'm like, I should do that before I give the tour and get stuff organized. But I was lifting some heavy stuff and just kind of crushing boxes and a bunch of weird, getting rid of a bunch of junk. But yeah, I realized it was getting pretty late when I'm like, oh, I need to start getting this stuff set up real quick, get out of the basement. But let's look at I was looking at the bike pics that have been posted from yesterday to today as well. Oh yeah, Rick said he found this one on Instagram, and I thought this was cool. The bike I got stolen from when I was at college was, I can't remember if it was an eight. I can't remember what model it was, but it was a Trek similar to this, like a hard fork, or not a suspension fork. But it was that same green color, but then it faded in the fork to purple. But that's kind of a cool build of it. That bike probably, I can't even remember what the gearing on that bike was. And then Summit Perry turns on the sound for Ben Super Shat's banana favoritism. Seriously, I changed absolutely nothing. I mean, I changed something to make it work last time, and then I turned that back off, and it's working regular, so no idea. And Summit Perry was painting this up for one of his kids. That's pretty cool. You guys were comparing it to that Richie, which, yeah, definitely. And that was a Trek 820. And the other one. Open the original. Oh, yeah.
Rick Urbanovsky super chatted $5. Chirp 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 chirp. Banana.
The banana at the end. Now that we know it reads emojis, it's even better. It was always funny, anyways, but it's funnier that he says them all out loud. Oh yeah, then Dylan was talking about getting his new tires on. So what? Those are the Ultra Dynamico Rosés. I know you guys were talking about it in the Discord, but I'm a little behind on that too. Uh, Brad, who was here last week, has those tires. Probably I don't think that wide though. Well, how wide are those? Yeah, those are so cool. And then Aaron has those with that tread pattern, but they're not the. I can't remember what the names for their casings are, but they're the darker color ones that aren't quite as. I guess they're not as supple, but. Oh, Roger, you have an 820 in the same color. Nice. It won't let you super chat the underwear emoji. I wonder if it knows because it'll read it out loud, and that's why it doesn't do it. Interesting. Yeah, those look rad on there. Oh yeah, then JMZ was saying how he got two different color sidewalls, which I thought, when I just glanced at it, thought it was just the lighting. There's more light on the backside, but yeah, that would. It's not super noticeable. He was asking if he should send them back. I'd be interested to see what you guys have to say. Oh, 48 millimeters for Dylan's tires. Yeah. Oh yeah, 47.99. Isn't that what they put on there? Underwear with a bunch of bananas. That's where they draw the line. Yeah, I don't know if you individually underweared, would it? What do you guys think? Should try and send these back with the one wrong colored tire? It would annoy me. I mean, you want to get what you want to get, but at the same time, they're pretty close. I guess I'd have to see it IRL, as Rick likes to say now. See it from the.
Pudgy Pedal Pusher super chatted $1.99. I got your underwear right here, large March. Banana.
So what you said, those are 28 tubeless? Is that what you guys were talking about in the chat? Like I said, I was a little behind. Does the Diverge max out at 28? I thought that, but it looks like it down there at the seat stays. But I thought that bike could take wider tires. But looking at it here, I wouldn't think so. Excuse me. He's saying he already put 40 miles on them, so don't know if they would take them back. But, huh. Kenny says run them through the mud, they'll match then. Yeah. Summit Perry says he would send it back. I guess it just depends on. Well, I'm laughing at the chat, not at the sending them back thing. But yeah, huh. I'm trying to decide what I would do if it would bother me enough or not. That is a pretty smooth looking bike to have something be wrong though, because you do have everything set up pretty cool. So. Even having ridden 40 miles on them, if you wiped them off, packaged them back up, I mean, what are they? Once you send them there, they're going to be like, "You rode 40 miles on these." I doubt it. Rick says try and return them as well. Yeah, like I said, it's worth a call. It was what did you say? Bike tires direct. Let's see where. And he also said the pictures aren't really doing justice how different they look. Yeah. It's, I mean, it's more common now too to try and run different tires on a bike. I know Large Marge has some with 2 different tires on it, but yeah, if that's not what you were going for, it's not what you were going for. Yeah, it says bike tires direct. I've gotten stuff there, but I've never returned stuff there. It's been a long time. I used to always look at their sales. Obsolescence said they will probably oxidize and change once the sun hits them. Yeah, but they could change more, not less. Oh yeah, they're tubeless. That's what Pudgy's reminding us here. Having them mounted with sealant, it's hard to say if they would take them. Yeah. Then again, I mean, like I said, I don't know bike tires direct, but most fairly corporate places like take almost anything back. I couldn't believe the stuff we would take back at AutoZone. I mean, I drew a limit on it when I worked there. I only worked there. I'm sure I've told this for a few months, and I couldn't stand it. But yeah, I don't know. We took everything back. Oh, that would. You said you could take 48s on there. Okay. It just looks tighter than it is from that photo. You should send them back and get 48s then. That's my opinion. So, or at least 42s. Pudgy battle. Oh, they're not tubeless. Okay. I thought, yeah. I might have read the wrong comment in the Discord when I was also zooming in looking at the clearance without that screen up there, so let me do that again. Yeah, it must just be an optical illusion with the way the picture is because it just looks tight. I love this bike though. The GRX and everything.
Stanley super chatted $5. Welcome to the evening routine, Michael Stanley Day Edition. Oh, and banana, and tuna boat.
Wow, that was a great super chat. Were they call? I saw the Summit post. Was it the Summit 91.3 post something about it being Michael Stanley Day? But yeah. Oh, and a tuna boat. Oh, you have 42 millimeter gravels on the way. Nice, yeah, that'd be perfect on that bike. Oh, that's not a bad idea, William. Order another tire, put the one that matches best, and keep the other one as your backup because you'll wear out probably the rear one twice as fast, anyways. And then when you're switching it out, the other one will already look kind of dirty, and it won't matter so much that it doesn't if it doesn't fully match. I just ride them and feel disgruntled about it. I gotta say, once I put them on the bike, and then I noticed it, I probably wouldn't take them off just because I just wouldn't go through the effort. Pudgy says he'd ride them till they're equally dirty. Yeah. If I noticed right out of the box, I might consider sending them back. But once I had the bike put back together, I probably wouldn't send them back. I might let them know anyways. It's probably worth letting them know just so they don't do it to someone else. But, and then maybe they would offer you some kind of, there's a chance they might offer you some kind of discount on the next thing you get. But were those the only bike picks so far today? Yeah. Oh, he did say in the chat, one set for road, one set for gravel. I just hadn't gotten that far. So I was also looking at obsolescence, the bags he made himself and then dyed. Are these that's the camo material? Let me get this up here. Did you make these out of that camo material you posted? Oh, it looks like it. And then you dyed them with like a darker dye. Those are sweet. Which bike is this? Those lugs look like lugs look a lot like my Schwinn. What did Large Marge say? Ride them and get your next set from your local bike shop, and can't argue with that. What did Broadford say? Still trying to peel all the dried sealant from his Snoqualmie passes. Is that a typo? Wait, Snoqualmie? I know that name of that tire, but from last summer and about to combust. Straight Millsap died and another bag for the trek. Nice. Yeah, that looks sweet. Oh, that's the dye right there, huh? Gris Marengo and Rojo Escartata. Yeah, so this is what you made them out of? Rad. Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, he said that's a 90s Miata. Okay. Yeah. That's what it looks familiar from. Probably the lugs are probably similar to mine. Well, mine would be oh, we talked about this. That's right. I do remember that now. I guess I'm guessing mine's early 80s, but I could be wrong on that though. Said it didn't have any components, so yeah, from the side, that's similar looking lugs there. Also, a lot of chromatic aberration from that lens, huh? Color fringing. Jay Dandy, God gave his hands for a reason. Oh yeah, early mid '80s still had the nice metal head badges. Head badges. Did they go to a sticker probably after that, like a lot of companies do? Hey, what's up, Andrew? Andrew said he's got an old Nishiki turned into a gravel bike. Oh, and it's a single speed with wood chipper bars. I also use Ross wheel bags. Great videos. Thanks, Andrew. If you if you have any photos of of the bike, drop them in that link, and we could share them on the. That's how we're sharing all the photos of everyone's bikes here. Uh, Discord, I think you have to sign up with an email and a password, but it doesn't. Like I've said before, it's not really spammy, so you could turn it on when you want. But where was the other? There was another picture in the Discord that I wanted to share, but now I can't remember what chat it was in. Rick asked if he could get COVID watching this live stream. Depends on who you're watching it with, I guess. You know. Wow, that Stream Elements bot was right on time with me. Oh, I see. Me and Large Marge posted that. So, yeah, it's basically like a glorified message board if you've never used Discord, but we just have one that kind of goes with the channel. That's share what people are up to and help each other out with advice. So, it's kind of cool. Oh, Erin was asking me to. I told her to put it actually in the Discord, but she was asking me to crowdsource people's thoughts on what bag she should get for her new rack. And I don't use, or for her new basket. And I don't use baskets, so Large Marge could drop the name of the basket. I don't know the sizings or anything or even the name. But I know she was looking at the Sugarloaf that Brad V has, B Vixer in the chat. And then the other one that she was interested in is the one, and I should have wrote it down, that Large Marge is using by, what is the name of that? Elium, something like that. And she was like, ask tonight. And I'm like, just put it in the Discord. She's like, no, ask everybody what bag I should get. And then she was like, then just order it and Venmo me for the amount of money. So Wild 137 is the name of the rack. And so Pudgy says Yellowbird. What's the name of do you know what oh, Yellowbird 137, they actually make one that just would be called that. I'm getting a lot of bird photos over here. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Nice. Let me get that so it's on the screen a little better, though. Whoops. Walled. Gotcha. I'm sure you guys all. Summit Perry ordered the Reload one. This looks cool. I know one thing that Brad V liked about the Sugarloaf is the way it attached to the basket. It had the bigger flaps. I'll pull that up too at the same time. Compare them all. When she asked me, I'm like, yeah, I was like, I'm trying to go rackless for my gravel bike setup with the Swift Industries bags, but I'll see. I don't know if it'll work just because I don't have the mounts on the Raleigh. So yeah, so this is the Sugarloaf. Oh, no, I need to move it back. Why do they always gotta bother me with that? Yep. There we go. Now it's on screen. See what you guys are saying. Wald makes liners dirt cheap. Outer shell makes a good looking basket bag. Color option. I'm trying to remember what she wanted. It's obviously for Bombora. I think that might be the one she's looking at, which would make the most sense. I don't think. Well, yeah, I don't think the green would make as much sense with the crust. Oh, do they still have this one? I'm sure that's Coyote. She might have told me. I don't even. Ooh, that's an expensive bag, isn't it? Where's the 175? Oh no, it's not that bad. I was looking at the wrong thing. Hey Kay, what's up? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Glad you could join us. Well, let me see. Where did I missed? Broadford's got a sugar loaf. He really likes it. It's not the most weather resistant. Okay, that's worth noting because I think that would be something to consider because I think she would be wanting to carry clothes and waterproof stuff in that. You know. Pudgy was saying with the yellow thread works, she would have more color options. Yeah, I do like those. That is kind of cool with the. Where was the picture of the sugar loaf with the? It had those add-ons on the front. Where are those? Oh yeah, here we go. How do I get that? So let me zoom in on that. I do like that a lot. Broadford said the new version might be a little different. French press basket. I'll search up a couple of the ones you guys are looking for. I'll show a picture of her bike first because that's what, and then I'll go to some of the other options. Let me see where I got a good picture of her bike. Oh, there we go. So this is the Bombora. I think did she order the rack from the bike shop yet, Large Marge? I think she did. I think or she's going to. So it's a roll top on the Wald 137 from Yellowbird, which probably keeps it pretty weather resistant. Probably a good option for that. And then she, like you said, oh, that has it has got kind of the cool feed bags on the back. Oh, I like that Peugeot it's on. I think we talked about this before too. I dig it. What were a couple of the other ones that you guys mentioned that we could look up? Oh, wait, I didn't have that on there, did I? Sorry. Let's do this again. I was looking at the colors and the roll top on here. Sorry, and the Peugeot. Hi, Jay Dandy. The day I took those photos, I think, is the day we stopped by your place to drop off the stuff, passed right by your house. I could pull out of my cameras in one of those walled bags. I think she's just using the, Rick asked if she's putting fenders on it. Right now, she's just using one of the, like a rear fender, like a clip on. She said she's probably going to stick with it like that for a little while. So I don't think she's trying to go full fendered. Might get different depending on if we're going to do some kind of tour where she would really want that. But let me see what What was the one that Summit Perry trout moose? Or is that a joke? Are you making fun of me? Never know anymore because the stupid things I always say. Trout moose basket bag. Okay, cool. Looks like it's a roll top too. Oh, well, is just that color out of stock or are they all out of stock? They don't have any right now. Can I make this bigger? There we go. That looks like it connects kind of similar to the sugar loaf then, huh? Dark Realm is that the one? Oh yeah, I'm dropping links. Dropping links. Oh, this is a. Wait, I was gonna go to the link, not the photo. Watch a guy learn how to use the internet. Live on the internet. So this is what you have, Large Marge, right? Oh, she ordered the basket. It's already there. Cool. So the reload one just kind of does the purse carry thing. This one with those the whatever you call that kind of strapping, I should know because I watch enough Pathless Puddled. I should know the name of every kind of strap. But with those loops on the side, I bet you could throw a shoulder strap on that one, which would be kind of nice too. That could be even that in that color. That could be a sweet one for her bike. I think that would look cool on that Bombora. She's having kind of. Oh, Large Marge has the Elam. And she wanted me to ask about that one. Let's throw that up on the. Trinity Rambler. Yeah, that tie-dye is cool. Summit Perry was that. JMC said that bag has a muffin top. JMZ said her sidewalls match. Yeah, well, you know. Oh, these are all the different colors? Oh, it doesn't show. They don't have pictures of them, though. Again, my pronunciation, I'm sure it's Elam or. What's the bike? The Rambler. What were the other ones you guys mentioned that if I missed something? Let's see. Another one to look up. This is not helping. Well, I'm glad she's not. Well, she might be lurking in the background, but her whole point is that she's done making decisions. That's what I was trying to say. I do like those Dark Realm, but. Oh, the bike's at Bridgestone? Oh, yeah, it is. I could see that. So let's see. This was the Trap Move Sugarloaf. Oh, we didn't look up the reload one, did we? What was that one called? Where was that? Oh, Dylan's Rockweist, Rockgeist. Copying and pasting just to make this easier. I am not finding the right hyperlink here. Just type in Rockgeist. Here we go. Oh, that's a good idea. Make a poll in the Discord for the bag. We should choose a few of these, yeah, a few of these best ones that we have here. And let me expand this browser out. Oh, that's nice too. I like that the roll top then rolls over and that's where it buckles on the sides. That's only $80. That's a lot cheaper than the other ones. Or I didn't look at the price on all of them, but the ones we actually, like what the Swift was 170. Oh, it's, yeah. Oh, they have theirs on a crust, the Romancer. Oh, I like that. Got the handles when it's open. That's kind of cool. I dig that. Oh, you can't hear me? Are you serious? Are you messing with me? I think that's on your end, Rick. The playback's working. It says I'm live. You got to be messing with me. Oh, good. Long as Large Marge season hears me. A little more. Oh, good. It's all fine. He's messing with me. Is there anything else? Did anyone have another one that we should check out, or if I miss, like I said, type it again. I'll. Rick must have eaten some gluten. Yeah. Excuse me. That was a wrong pipe right there when I read that. Man, I really do like the Dark Realm. That's kind of cool. It wouldn't look good on anything I have, but on her bike I could definitely see that. How big? What kind of company is Dark Realm? Are they like a? Are they a smaller brand or are they a bigger brand? Hand dyed, so they got to be smaller. I was reading their description. I guess I should just read it out loud, right? Let's see what their other stuff looks like. Oh, their other bags look pretty cool too. The other styles. Oh, that pink one's cool. Again, nothing I have would really work with that, but for the right bike, that would be a pretty cool looking bag. Oh, look at these. These are all sold out, but these are cool. I really like those. Kind of the multi. Oh, constructed with cutoffs from previous projects. That's kind of cool. So using them up since they have them. I like that idea. Tie-dye one, bonus is waterproof. Dark Room is mostly witches. Pretty small. Our bananas gluten-free. Fabio's wax chest. Yeah, that's the huge one, right, though? Isn't that even bigger than the sugar loaf? That's the one that Swift made with, what's his name? Ultra Romance? Is that what it is? Or no, am I wrong on that? Oh, does Ron make this on his own? Or has it made on his own? Am I just making up the Swift connection? Here, let me get it up here. Oh, there's Ron. Yeah. Reload said 2 weeks build time, but shipped in 2 days. Yeah. We'll get that up next. Yeah. So this is Ron's own brand then for this? Yeah. I think someone brought it up in conversation when we were talking about the sugar loaf, and that's why I started to associate it with the Swift. But just checking out his other stuff. But so he has a number of branded things now. Cool. Yeah, it looks like they're all sold out. What is the one that the reload? We didn't look that up yet, did we? I would probably need another term though to find that search, so I don't just get the Metallica, that horrible Metallica album. Swift makes them 4 rounds, so they are Swift made bag. That's what I thought. I do like the new what is the bag I just got, the Swift Zeitgeist, the one they're doing a collaboration with Camp and Go Slow. I was thinking if I do go with two, I might get two different ones because they still have some of those left. I could pull those up next, which those would work as basket bags, but I don't think they have the connection points specifically to be basket bags. Oh, R.E load. There we go. On the bike. Let's see if they. Oh, Waldo. Were you guys talking about that? Waldo basket bags. Did I? Oh, I see what you were saying. Let me pull these up here. Yep. So they do. Let me see if it'll let me scroll through so we can get decent size here. Protection rating 2.5 raindrops. Oh, cool. There we go. So it's big so you guys can see that. I know I've mentioned this before, but if it looks weird, like I'm looking back and forth, the monitor, I'm looking up stuff when I talk to you guys about Discord or what I'm browsing is here. All my stuff in the chat and all the behind the scenes stuff is over here. So it's kind of, yeah. Oh, that's what you meant by the purse thing. Those are cool. Do you think only the side attachment points would be a problem if you were? I mean, so far we would only be doing some, not getting that crazy, but then some of the other ones also attached to the baskets at the back. And I said this is all something I'm not any kind of expert on. I like the deluxe here because I like having separate pockets. Reload is all custom colors if you like. Nice. Yeah, I like the idea of having that front pocket. It's one thing even with the Zeitgeist and a lot of these bags, just that one big open space is awesome for like when, like I said, one thing I'm just going to do is stuff my tent in the bottom of one or my sleeping bag and stuff the tent material on top and then use those compression straps to shut it real tight, and that's fine. And then there's two side bags for a couple little, whether that's electronics or food. But when I am doing more like cyclotouring with the panniers and the kind of bags I have, I love how compartmentalized everything is. But I'm sure you get used to whatever you're using, right? Oh, this has pockets on the inside too. I see it now. I don't think I know, or maybe only the deluxe one did, but I like that too. So you could slip a couple things, so you wouldn't have to, put your hand right past the clothes or whatever you were using as the main stuff you were carrying on there. Oh, I like this. I like this one a lot. That'd be cool for the right bike too. That's another thing ordering online. I just start getting like liter wise. I never think about what I'm putting in my bag in like terms of liters, but that is a good way to compare stuff. I just need to start realizing what my sizing is on the different bags I have. How these are build your own deluxe. This will be made to order just for you. Please allow 2 weeks. Yeah, that's not bad at all. $134 and up. That's not crazy either. So since this is something I never looked up, it's kind of interesting to me as well that everybody names the bags so that everyone knows they fit in those baskets. I didn't realize there was like some baskets that were so popular that everyone makes bags specifically for them. That's kind of a news to me. Let's see, what is the longest link in the world that Rick dropped? Oh, this is the Swift Industries Paloma handlebar bag. This one I have looked at before. I do like that clear top where you could put stuff in. Now this one has a lot of nice pockets too. That's kind of cool. Can I just make that full size and not this little magnifier? That's annoying. No. Oh, this one has like a framework around it, huh? Is that more like rigid so it's like its own basket? Oh, here we go. Oh, it's kind of like the one you bought. You just bought. That's what I was looking for earlier. Broadford said he uses a cargo net zip tied to the basket for extra security and more capacity. Yeah, I know Large Marge. I remember when you first had a basket, were you just putting stuff in there with I think you were putting stuff in there with no basket and just using one of the cargo net type things over to keep it in there, if I remember correctly. Maybe when we rode all the way to the end of the towpath over that 4th of July a few years ago. Yeah, that looks like a cool. Yeah, where was the one that you bought? Was that in bike packing? That one that was like the Kickstarter? You guys chat a lot. It's hard to find stuff. That's so that's a rando bag. Okay. I try and keep up, but yeah. Large Marge says, yeah, he just raw dogged it with the cargo net. Yep. I should have pictures of that. This link. Come on. Got so many I need to close some of these browsers. It's definitely slowing down this operation. Maybe I don't have pictures on Flickr from that trip. They're probably just on Instagram, but uh-oh, B Vixer's in the house. Scrolling through. I need to be better at talking and scrolling at the same time, but oh, there's the cargo net, but you do have a bag in there at the time. Not raw, not totally raw dogging at this point. That's right after we climbed a crazy hill. There's some classic Large Marge not long after I met him. Riding the Fixie, got the set a Bluetooth speaker, the Chrome bag on. An early GoPro on the saddle. Is that funny Brad or Flavor Town Brad? B Vixer? It's funny Brad, apparently. Funny looking Brad. Dylan says he can hear Brad giggling. Brad's like 2 blocks away. He could be here in a minute. He said he thought of banging on my window Tuesday night as he rode by, but then he had. So there's a huge plate glass storefront window right here. He said he pictured he would hit it and then it would just like shatter all over my desk and everything. Well, now I'm giggling. Leaning out of frame, Brad. Yeah, that's B Vixer is leaning out of frame, Brad. That's the Brad word, who B Vixer is. Dylan. Now that's a Fix a Kid starter pack if you've ever seen one. Yeah, so I've talked about this too, but when I met Large Marge, he was usually riding that fixed gear, and I was riding my Trek 4900 mountain bike that still had the beat up RockShox suspension fork on it, and that's what we would just. But we were always riding like road riding, just like fast on the roads, and both like on. I mean, I guess a fixed gear would be suitable for fast road riding, but hills and everything, yeah. So, kind of an interesting duo. So, like I said, the other 2 people we were riding with at first before Moore joined us was my friend Wes on his boat anchor Peugeot, really heavy U08. I think those are right. And then Woody on he was riding a single speed a lot back then, but Wonder if I could find a picture of the whole crew like hanging out, or in the early days. What, 6 years ago? I guess now is when we all started riding together. I mean, I've known Wes my whole life, but there's the early crew, but without the bikes in them. Woody, Wes, and then our friend Michael in the background, who lives in Canada now. Everybody saying hi to B Vixer. Is there a story behind B Vixer? Or I guess it's just a combination of your name. Some kind of combination of your name. But COVID pioneer. Did you ride a fixed gear, Dylan? Oh yeah, that was the other thing. I didn't. I did put up that poll on YouTube. I forgot to check in on the results. Let's see where I could find that. Oh, we got a decent number of votes. Pull that up here. So with this, we were talking, and I could show some of that. I do have some of the route roughed out now for the ride we're talking about doing on June 13th, and I could explain that more for anyone who didn't hear that. Oh, someone who couldn't say your last name, Vixer. So the poll was, started planning the YouTube group ride event, so I was curious when people would feel safe riding outside of their bubble. So right now, got 41%, April got 11%, May got 16%, and June or beyond was 32%. And we had 37 votes on the poll, so, which is still open. So if you didn't answer, go over there and answer just to keep seeing where it goes. But oh, an X, which is the coolest letter. Dylan said, yeah, fixed is fun. Haven't ridden one in years. The new frames with less aggressive geometry and bigger clearance are interesting, but you don't need it. Yeah, I mean, you don't need it. You don't need it, but you could have it. B Vixer is Swedish for leans out of frame. Nice. Whoops, sorry. He leans out of the frame in real life too. Let's it's 10 o'clock. Show the thank members video. If anyone needs to piddle, now would be the time. Grab another beer, grab another tea, grab another water, and we will be... Yeah, I'm surprised June or beyond got so many votes, but I don't know what the vaccination schedule is like in other states either. So Ohio, I'm impressed for moving so fast. I did not expect it. So X is gonna give it to you. All right. We are going to take a quick break here. Let's first thank the members, though. They really do help make this channel better in every way. If you want to add your name to this list, there is a link in the chat right now and also below this video. It is really appreciated. Like I said, it will help make the channel better in every way, but you also do get some special perks. There are extra videos, more content, discount on swag, and a few other things. Check out the link if you're interested. We do appreciate any support here, though, so if you're just tuning in to watch for a little while, hit the like button. They say it helps out. But yeah, any kind of support, whether you've ever, bought a piece of swag, done a super chat, but even just watching is good enough. I appreciate it. I really have fun doing this, so I'm glad we have a little community here. Also, take this chance again to say join us in the Discord. That's become a really cool thing, too. We'll be back in about a minute, but one more time, thanks to the members.
boat. Give me tuna boat. I want a tuna boat. Give me tuna boat. I want a tuna boat.
What up? I was just starting to look at the how to pull up this route I was trying to save that I'm starting to work on. How do I get it to be full screen? Huh. What am I missing here? I was going to try and show what I had for the ride route so fast, but let me drop a link to the event anyways while I'm thinking about it, so that I could explain what I'm talking about. Ran out of time on the pedal brake. Yeah, usually, yeah. The community tab is weird, and where that stuff posts, I haven't ever quite figured out what YouTube's doing. They algorithm everything, so check out this link if you're more staring, less talking. So we talked about this a bit last week, but yeah, let me move this over. Wrong one. Wrong one. There we go. Gary just pissed himself. Well, this is the idea for Sunday the 13th that we were talking about, is the first meetup. If anyone's interested, and like I always say, I'm going to be fully vaccinated by then. I wouldn't show up if I wasn't, but that's on you. I'm still inclined to think we will probably be wearing masks most places, unless at the parts where we're actually really riding. But it's like Dylan was mentioning, it would be nice to get an idea of how many people are coming, and we could the Google Calendar, if you add, I think you could add that. Like, I didn't do any of the work to figure that out yet. It's still pretty early, but the idea basically is if you want to ride, you show up here at 10:30, and we do this route, you know. So so yeah, you could click on the link to read the details I have up so far. I don't have the route up yet, but I was working on putting that together today. I got to about the point where there would be like a possible lunch break, but I don't know why right now I can't make this full screen. And if someone sees what I'm missing, let me know. Maybe if I go into edit mode, it's so slow though. So what, I have the first 15 miles planned out. If anyone doesn't have their Brad yet, we can pick you up. Nice. Let me move this over a little bit. There's got to be a way to make this map full screen, right? Like, that's not clickable. Does print give me a full one, or is it just going into, no? There's usually a little arrow to make anything on Strava full screen, and I'm not getting it. Rick said, should he book a hotel room now, or may there be a group rental thing going on? So that's like one of the things, like if you guys want to coordinate any kind of like of those things, it's on whoever wants, use the Discord in the meetup section and see if anyone wants to coordinate. Like I said, if someone, I think the best thing would be to look for like a house or something on Airbnb if multiple people wanted to come on Saturday and really cut down on the cost. And also, then you could probably find something pretty close. Oh, Pudgy, I get the how bad are your tattoos joke now. I forgot that me and B Vixer were talking about is lizard with the yin yang forehead tattoo last week. But find the share HTML link and click on it. I know if I go in the edit window, I'll get a full screen. It's just it runs slow, but it should load after a second. So just give it a minute while we wait. But yeah, I don't know why Strava's route builder runs so hard on the computer. Again, I could probably close like 100 of these other windows. Let's see. If Tim's logo, if you get Tim's logo tattooed on your body, you get to sleep at his place. Yeah. Pudgy. Let's get the satellite up. I think that would look much cooler. Yeah, I mean, my computer fans are kicking on and everything. Like, Strava's route builder is just like, I don't get it. Only this Firestone logo where I spell my name wrong. Yeah, that's the. I fixed it though. They do their campaigns so they only ship out and they print every 3 days, so it'll be fixed by the time you get it, Brad. But I didn't even. My dad is the one who noticed it. He was like, "Why'd you go with an S instead of a Z?" And I was like, "Good call." And I flipped it real quick and re-uploaded it. But the Courtesy Inn, is that the one that's across the river in Chapel Hill? But that's Sheridan. I don't know how much it costs, but that's the nicest hotel that's real close. But like I said, I would still look at the Airbnb. Misspelled edition. Let's see if this. Okay, now we look like we're kind of loaded up. Also, like I said, so I dropped that link, but some of those details, as it gets early, it might change. Like right now, like I talked about the after party being at Hi Ho Brewing. Hi Ho isn't even open right now that late. So, let's see. Yeah, my studio's in this row of buildings here on State Road in Cuyahoga Falls, though. So it's like a little bit of a road ride to get to the gravel. And there'll be roads on this. It's going to be totally mixed terrain. Like I said, I got the first half planned, but I think I want to meet up with Large Marge because there's some stuff that he's taken us on that I want to get in there that I don't actually wasn't able to find on the map when I was messing around. But he's like the route master, so this is just right through the neighborhood in Cuyahoga Falls, and then this is all downtown. Oh, I've got to get it lower because my face is over it. But yeah, this next turn is straight through downtown Cuyahoga Falls, and then when we cross by this big freeway, this is all where the gravel sections start. It actually does label it on the the route builder is. Looks like dirt, which super packed dirt, but let's see. I had to draw it all by hand. Strava wouldn't let me have it go down this road, even though the heat maps have a bunch of activity on it. Looks like it moved me onto Route 8, but it's basically like a... Someone said Rick could camp in his yard. Yeah. And that's the other thing, too. If anyone wanted to, like any Columbus guys or anyone wanted to ride up, we could talk about where, like I said, I did put on the map that I linked to there are some roll-through camp spots. And anything could be dropped before the ride here at the studio, too. So, you know, if you guys have done other rides or we ride on Saturday and on Sunday morning you ride over here and there's stuff we don't want to ride with, we could leave that in here locked up as well. So yeah, so this whole first section is one long gravel route. Why is it doing this? Yeah, it's just moving things. So Large Marge was telling me to check out Map My Ride, I believe it is, and I think I'll actually build the route there because he said then you could export it for any kind of computers. Yeah, and Strava is obviously not liking my selections there, but yeah, here it jumped it out onto a road, and I didn't ever ask it to do that. Yeah, it like moved it since I had it open last, but I just wanted to get an idea of mileage and all that stuff, anyways, and that's why I was kind of just putting it together on here because I know how this works. You sure you want to do that with livestock nearby? Ride with GPS is what he said, yeah. Oh yeah, it destroyed my route. I didn't do anything to let it do that. It just did it on its own. Yeah, I was talking to Large Marge about Komoot. I've heard that's a great tool to use. Yeah, then down in here is where you jump cross tracks and jump onto the road and then hit a bike path for a little bit. So all this solid color here is paved bike path for a minute. We actually cross over a train bridge where the route will end up going up underneath here. Yeah, this is not a, I mean, like I said, my computer is like melting down using this, and it takes forever to load. Yeah, so this is the bike path ends, jump up onto the road, and then head down to like some of the real gnarly stuff. Good thing about here is we are right by the bike shop if someone has a total disaster and makes it this far. Oh, Obsolescence says it's the motel over by St. Vincent. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, anyways, I think I'll build this on one of those other ones and finish it up. But this is painful to try and look at on Strava. But for anyone local, it starts to give you an idea of what I have in mind. The next section we call the East Side Track, which is not crazy. It's all pretty much flat, but that's where the gravel is pretty gnarly and like really passing through like the backside of town, if you will. Yeah, there's another moment of bike path, and then we cut through. This is old Goodyear property. This is actually the Goodyear test track over here. And we kind of climb up Crazy Hill, kind of routed us through the neighborhood. Then to get out to the old stadium you guys have seen the photos of. So this is the old abandoned stadium. It's actually not as in bad shape in this satellite photo as it is now. They've torn down more of it since then. And then there's some more off-road stuff. This is the giant air dock where they used to build the Zeppelins. They built 2 Zeppelins here. Goodyear did. And then this would be the lunch point, which would be 15 miles in at Hoppin' Frog. But 15 miles is a lot farther than it seems on the kind of terrain we'll be on. Like some of the stuff you can't ride fast on. But Large Marge has done some cool stuff where we cross tracks and he's actually built like abandoned train tracks and he's actually built up some little like dirt humps and covered them so you could ride over. And I wouldn't mind like doing that on a couple more, before the day. But yeah, that's kind of the idea so far. And I think that'll be, I'm not sure what the mileage will end up with when we add in all the other little crazy cuts we have through downtown. No, the Hindenburg wasn't there. Hindenburg was built in Germany. But it was the same company. So Goodyear partnered with Zeppelin, and the air dock used to have a huge Goodyear Zeppelin sign on it. But with the wars and everything, and the partnerships all ended. So do we have to go to Swenson's? Do we have to do every generic Akron thing? We could hit better spots than Swenson's. Oh, man, those comments. Yeah, blimps were built at Wingfoot. They built a ton of different kinds of uh, yeah, the dirigibles were built at that air dock, which I have on screen, which is more usually called the Akron air dock, and it's gigantic. Wingfoot is out in Springfield Township, and that's actually where the blimps are still today. But they did build blimps at this air dock, but this is not the. People think this is where the Goodyear blimp is. It's not where the Goodyear blimp is. Goodyear hasn't even owned it for. Man, when did Goodyear Aerospace get sold off? I can't even remember. But go to Dilly's. That's 15 miles to. So this out by the air dock here is where Hoppin' Frog Brewery is, but I don't have a. Yeah, so you said so far. So that's 15 miles to there. It'll feel a lot longer than 15. Me and Large Marge had talked about that east side track section that really goes through along these tracks through a bunch of abandoned factories and stuff like that is what 10 miles an hour feels like you're going fast on that kind of terrain. So, and there's just a lot of little technical stuff. There's some off camber gravel that was you're going around the side of a track. So that's 15. You'll probably already be feeling like it's more like over 20. And then the way back, I should be a little quicker, but then I want to add another loop that'll take us through downtown Akron on the towpath into the valley. And then there'll be a cool gravel climb that'll bring us back home. So I can't add that all up in my mind exactly what that'll end up being. I need to finish the route. Like I said, do it on a different service, and I want to do it with Large Marge's help. I would like to add, there's a trail that's an old train line. The tracks are gone, and there's just parts of it around town that we've ridden. It's supposed to be called the Rubber City Heritage Trail. I would like to add some of that into there. So you're thinking your Kona rather than the ECR? Yeah, I'll be riding it on the Raleigh. I'll be riding it on 42s. If you're comfortable on some like bike handler, that'd be fine. You'd be better off with wider tires than 42. I don't know, Large Marge would probably be the best at recommending what he thinks people should ride, but it's also kind of personal. Like I said last week, I did it on my vintage Roger Riviera on 38s, but I wouldn't recommend that. It's and first time he rode it, I think he rode it on that fixed gear we were showing. But again, you can, but that won't be a comfortable day. So, but I also wouldn't want a fat bike because there will be a decent amount of roads, you know, a decent amount of easy riding type, you know, even crushed limestone on the towpath. So I like the in between. That's why gravel bikes are perfect. But I'm thinking it's going to end up about 40 miles, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I shouldn't even guess. I should just get the route together and then post it. Summit Perry, you said you'll be on 38s. You'll be on 38s, but you'll also be on a bike that can handle, I think, a little better, you know. When I did it on the 38s, I also had really narrow bars on that bike. Actually, they brought those up on that Pathless Pedal interview. They were those Randonnier by Nito, but they did have a flare, but they're like this. So Large March said 48 to 2.2 would be the sweet spot in his opinion. Yeah, like I said, if you have something smaller, you'll get away with it. It won't be. It's not unrideable on smaller stuff, and that's not. And I think he's right. The sweet spot. So there's probably that's about 6 miles on the gnarliest of gravel. A lot of the other gravel will be more like this, which I've ridden this on my road bike. I've ridden this on 32s, so probably back in the day, I probably did ride it on some 28s or smaller, but lately, within the last couple of years, I've ridden it on my 80s Trek with the 32s on it. But yeah, wouldn't want that for the other part I was just talking about. So I closed all those windows because that thing was killing my. I had some more photos of what some of the terrain looks like pulled up. Probably lost now, but yeah, like this is the stuff nearest to my house, and that's all pretty easy riding gravel too. This is a weird. There must have been train tracks here at some point as well, because that stuff. Let's see where. It's like even that puddle in the photo. If it rains within 3 weeks of this event, there'll be big puddles on this too, and you can avoid most of them. And it's not that soft, but yeah, it just holds the water like crazy out here. It's really strange. Yeah, so there's one of the hotels actually in the background that I put on the map. So probably the most budget friendly one. Oh, Kenny said when he was a kid there were still tracks along the Route 8 gravel. Yeah, that makes total sense that's what that was. And you could see here too, even at this big switch point, this is the part we have to walk across the tracks to get to the next part. But must have been some kind of station here, and there is this old loading thing. I don't know what those are, but it'll be cool. There's lots of cool old. If you come from out of town, this will definitely be Rust Belt. You'll get to see what the Rust Belt looks like. So, do we have a name for that beer bridge? We have a lot of beer bridges. Yeah, I don't know. We don't really have a name for that one. I think of it as like Chapel Hill because that's kind of what you're looking at when you're sitting there. But we do need a name for that beer bridge. See if I can find any more of the terrain photos since I accidentally closed that window. Oh, I used to flatten quarters, yeah. Get off the tracks bridge. Yeah, it would make sense that there were tracks there too, because why Why else would there be a bridge there? I mean, it's not really an access road. It's another old train, path. Searching bikes on my Flickr feed brings up a lot of stuff, as you can imagine. So, let's see, what else were we gonna? Oh, Large Marge shared a old classic, one of the bigger groups we ever had on one of our rides. Actually, Obsolescence's brother is in this photo, sitting right next to me. That's the other thing, depending on the turnout and how many, like I said, I want to keep everything super simple, but if we have enough people, then it might be worth me talking to some of the businesses around. So the guy sitting next to Large Marge there owns 2 coffee shops in town now, so maybe we do have coffee on Sunday morning here at the studio or over at one of his places. We'll see. I'm going to play it all by ear, but right now the idea is just to keep it very simple, but oh, Kenny said if you go up the line to Silver Lake, the tracks are still there. You could see them from the pedestrian bridge. Yeah, me and there's in a couple other spaces along there. I've kind of popped in um, and seen the tracks in different spots, so that makes total sense. Yeah. That was like one of the biggest groups we've ever had show. A couple people only ever came out a few times. Both the twins are there. Yeah. Brian Marsh with the cool bicycle quarterly shirt. At that point, I never even would have even heard of bicycle quarterly. That brewery's beer was pretty average at best, by the way. They had really good pizza, really average beer. And we'd ride out there, and the pizza would take forever because it was wood fired, but not like Neapolitan style. It was thick wood fired, so it would cook really. It would take forever, and so we'd get real drunk while we waited for our pizzas to be done. I don't even know what that means, Rick. See, we've got another. It's a new name, so I don't know what the name is, but who it correlates to in the chat between you two. But the True X Files posted a New Scotland Brewing Extra Pale Ale. Nice. It said cheers. Today at 10:30. Oh, so 1 minute ago. Yeah. Oh, okay. So that was. We got a couple bike pics. Let me. Or if I could put it back together, but. Oh, we need to open the original. Someone has a guard nose. Yeah, it looks like a pretty rad setup there. Oh, this is the vintage Nishiki that you turned into the cross bike, right? Andrew Smith. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Large Marge. He's my memory, as I always say. Yeah, okay, so that's the Nishiki turned into the cross bike. Posted 2 photos to show the other one. No, that's nice. That's got real dropouts too. Not a cheap one. Forged dropouts instead of sheet metal dropouts. pretty rad. Yeah, that like I said, that looks like the kind of thing that I do with some of my bikes. Still got the original center pole brakes on there. Yeah, cool. Thanks for dropping those in there. It's always cool to see everybody else's stuff. Oh, he did. He captioned it. Andrew Smith Nishiki. If I just read a little more, I would get the answers I'm looking for, huh? I was just looking at too. How can I tell they are forged metal dropouts and not sheet metal? Let me think of how I know that. Because they're sheet metal dropouts just look like they're part of the bike, not something that's attached later. And they're thicker. The width is thicker. So sheet metal dropouts are like what let me show my single speed. And it's a good way, like I've thought about making this video, like buying like a vintage bike like cheap somewhere. Like how can you tell if it's like a little better quality or like the lowest quality? And that's like one of the things I look for is what the dropouts are made out of. So let me get this up on the screen. So these are sheet metal dropouts. You could see how thin it becomes where the seat stay and the chainstay go in there. And if you were looking at it from the back, it's just like a thin piece of metal. So look at the front one. Can't tell as much from that picture on the front one, but they're just thin sheet metal. Whereas with this photo, I guess I just know it now and it's not that distinctive. Maybe let's look at the other photo. Maybe it's a little more distinctive. Oh, that one doesn't zoom in, but yeah, and I mean, it could really be the difference too, and like the price. Yeah, the price might. I'll drop some tomorrow. I'll make a note to do it. Some close-ups of the two bikes, like two different bikes that I have, and the difference. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. It becomes really noticeable, and just a good way to tell the quality of a bike. Usually, like the kind of thing I would talk about in the video is down tube shifters versus top tube. It's not 100%. Aaron's World Sport has forged dropouts, but top tube shifters. But in general, bikes with top tube shifters were a little cheaper. If it has that big plate over the front chain ring, that extra, plate, usually it was a cheaper bike. There's just some little things like that you could start to look for. And so if you see all the nicer stuff and the bike's $30, it might not be a really valuable bike, but it's a better built bike, And that's also going to be like if you want to convert it to like these kind of gravel builds that we're looking at, it's nicer to have something with forged dropouts. So, you're not going to break it. You're not going to bend it. My Roger Rivieri, since it is just sheet metal dropouts, I've actually used one of those surly, I always call them tug nuts, and that's not what they're actually called, but it's basically, I think they more made them for single speeds, but it's kind of a piece of metal with the two holes and the adjustment screw for how it sits in there, and it just reinforces that on that one side, and the other side has a derailleur hanger, so that's bolted on, so it kind of gives a little more stability there. But like I said, I could definitely drop some photos in the Discord that have a little bit better photos. Forged will have raised areas around like the screw holes, yeah, for sure. And a lot of times, chain tensioners, yeah, there's a name for the one Surly makes, but yeah. A lot of times too, forged dropouts will actually have a make stamped into them, and that's the way too. Like when I got that Barry Hoban that I built up, and my friend actually, it got delivered in Columbus, and I asked him if there was anything. I knew they were forged, but I asked him if there was anything printed there. He's like Brev dot Campagnola, and I'm like, they're campies. It's got forged campy dropouts. That's awesome. Trek, I think, put their name on the old forged dropouts. If it's a French bike, a lot of times it'll have Simplex put into it, where I've never seen a make put into a sheet metal dropout. So, yeah, some companies made their own dropouts. A lot of people bought them. You know, most good French bikes had, older French bikes had the Simplex dropouts. Let's see if this photo, these are the campy ones. See if I could get that up there. Yeah, this is the Barry Hoban that has the campy dropouts. Yeah, again, I could see it there, but it's hard to tell from that. But usually the adjustment screws that come in from the back to how far forward or backwards the wheel is going to go. Usually something with sheet metal dropouts wouldn't have those. Only the forged ones would. But Zeus, yeah, Zeus did dropouts, yeah. Cool nerd stuff, yeah. That's just, you know, I didn't know that at first when I would go and I'd see a cool vintage bike. Like a lot of people go and buy, like, you know, Peugeots or anything. They just think, like, oh, yeah, like, or Motobacan is a good French brand that did this. They painted their bikes really nice, like the one that I have that was my dad's. It looks really cool. It looks really nice. It's made out of heavy straight gauge tubing. It has sheet metal dropouts. The group set is, what's that other French group set that's lower than, it's not even Simplex, it's a Huret, I'm sure it's Huret, Huret, Huret. They made some very low end group set, and that's what's on there. I mean, I love the bike. I rode it. It looks really cool. Now I have it just up on the wall. But again, like companies like that, they would make really pretty looking bikes, bike boom bikes, and then, but they're actually not very, here it is. This is my dad's old bike that I fixed up. So you could see there by the front ring, like, see how it has that chain guard? I've never seen that on a nice bike, you know. But look how pretty this, like the head badge, this beautiful paint job. They put a steel sticker on here like it's nice stuff, but it's the cheapest steel that you can get. Cool logos. You out, Summit Perry? All right, man. See ya. Suicide levers, what they call those, second, whoops, sorry about swinging that around. The brake levers that come underneath the bars. In general, those are going to be on a cheaper bike. You could see it as top tube shifters. Yeah, just a couple things that you could start to know to look for, to be like, it doesn't mean you can't buy and like love riding a bike like this. Dork disc is what Dylan's calling it. Yeah, because, you know, like I said, my Peugeot is a little nicer bike than this. It's a couple steps up the chain, but it's not a high-end bike. I've got 4,000 miles on it, and I love the thing. So it doesn't mean don't buy it. It means don't spend a lot of money on it, and also don't put a ton of money into it unless it's just for your own riding or building enjoyment. You're never going to get the money back out. Putting tires on a bike like this, you're already at a loss. Your tires and tubes will cost more than this bike is worth. So, but yeah, look, it's a really pretty bike, you know. I can't believe I rode that saddle for as long as I did. It's a horrible saddle. It's the original one. Oh, thanks, Rick. Yeah, I did a series where I like photographed all my bikes that I had at the time in the studio like this, and did them each from 3 angles, and did a little Instagram nerdy history thing on them. Dylan, you're out too. See you later, Dylan. Have a good night. Oh, that's is that Ken's All City that ended up getting stolen in the background there? Stolen from outside 69 Taps. Man, a Thompson seat post on it and everything. Yeah, our friend Ken's bike got stolen. I think that's it. I think that was the first All City I had ever seen. You know, we were riding up to June 22nd, 2016. We were riding up to see the Cavs victory parade, and everybody was like, you couldn't get up there. Like, it was traffic jam like crazy. And so me and Large Marge and a couple friends were like, if we ride our bikes up, we could take the train back to Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad. So that's actually where we are here, is where the station is. I think we're waiting to meet Large Marge's buddy, who also has a vintage Peugeot that I think he was riding. But yeah, little trip down memory lane. Trying. It was nice actually on this ride. So this is my dad on. Is this his current bike? I think this is a current bike. We were doing an Akron bike party. Yeah, is this specialized? Yeah, it's hybrid. Yeah. And I was actually riding the Motobacan on this, and a guy rolled up next to me, and it was like, "That's a super cool bike. Where did you get that?" And I'm like, "This guy right here." You know, he's had it hanging in the barn for my whole entire life. That bike. I can't even remember ever riding it. But he wasn't sure. He thinks it's like a 79 or an 80, maybe. Oh yeah, there's Large Marge's buddy up at the Cavs victory parade. So we were walking in. So Large Marge, black hat is oh, totally mother's ball. Totally drawing a blank on his first name, like I draw a blank on everything. So that was an Akron bike party. Freddie with the Y. Piddle vid time. All right, I could use a piddle break. All right, piddle vid. We'll be right back. Jacob. Jacob. That was perfect timing. I just walked right back in. It's the end of that, so the stream's about over. It's interesting looking through some of these old bike pics. There's people in there now that I didn't know at the time that I now know. Anywho, we don't have Lincoln tonight. I have a whole list of professional cycling stuff that I could talk about forever. When I started doing the live stream, the Tour de France was on, and that's like one of the things that I'm like, I guess that's a subject I could just ramble on and on about, and since no one was listening, it didn't matter. And then when Pudgy started listening, we started nerding out about cameras. But yeah. I was also watching, right before we came on, Large Marge's video, which is a spot we will go right past, but not down in where he goes. If he doesn't mind, I could pop that on in the background. If I could get the volume so we could hear both. It'll give us a little music too. I think, do you have music in this? Or maybe not. Maybe you don't. Also, let me drop a link to his channel. Let me do that first. Yeah, if you're not subscribed to Large Marge, that's his YouTube channel. Yep. Nah, I don't need to ramble about pro cycling. Do it up. Yeah, let me know about the volume, whether it's all, if we could talk while this is going on or not. But so this is between when I was showing where the Goodyear test track is. This is a spot right next to it, and they have a landfill here, but I can't remember Large Marge if you do. Freddie with the Y was telling us what this thing actually did. I mean, obviously it was spraying water everywhere, but I don't think this was actually, the landfill was right next to this, and this was was this a sewage treatment plant maybe? That's probably makes more sense, but. It's funny, when I first watched this and I heard that the camera noise that you're taking pictures with, the autofocus noise, I was like looking for my cameras because I'm so used to hearing that. Speaking of which, I have one over here that I want to move. But. Yeah, I've never gone down in there. I didn't even. Did you have to climb a fence? Isn't it all fenced off down in here? Oh, I didn't put the video on. Yeah, not the first time. Start it over. See if I got the whole thing on there. It's up now. Sorry, guys. There we go. I can't remember. Oh yeah, the one time. That's right. The first time I really did that is when I needed to take a pedal break before I had a pedal break video. Kenny said, spoiler alert, he has not seen it yet. That's right, I went to take a pedal break and I just played a YouTube video because I didn't have anything back up. And then I came back and I saw Pudgy's comment like, you didn't play the put the video on the screen, so it was just a shot of the wall behind me. But I think they would. Yeah, I think it is like sewage treatment pipes because it basically. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been by like an old like when I worked at the farm, we had a trailer park and it had a mini version of this, and basically it's like a litter box, and when there's too much rain overflow, what the sewage just goes out onto a large bed like this, and it sits there to aerate and space out. So I'm guessing that's what this is. And it also could be maybe some kind of like less severe industrial waste. You know, way back in the day, the rubber companies, methane dispersal, maybe. Yeah. So it definitely could be something like that because, you know, heck, the rubber companies just dumped everything in the river early on, and that's what polluted the city so bad. I probably should have drank out of that puddle then. No, yeah, that would not be recommended. But if you come on the ride, we'll be able to see down in here. We won't go into here, but you'll see it as we pass by. So, Soylent, yeah, we got. So where he's looking now, we'll go up onto that ridge and over. So. Is there? I haven't watched it much beyond here. One of these pipes might give away, and Large Marge falls to the ground in a cast iron disaster. I guess he wouldn't be in the chat right now, right? I brought him up on here, but we know this guy who showed us a lot of these off-road routes around town, and he calls himself Freddy with a Y, or that's what everybody else calls him, but he introduces himself as Freddy with a Y. But he just blasts you with so much information. With a lot of it's good and interesting, but it's so much that you walk away trying to retain as much as you can. And he did tell me what this exactly it was, but then he went on for another 45 minutes about every bike trail, every train company that ever came through Akron, you know. He's kind of like me, but I'll let you get a word in once in a while. So. I am Lent Green. Is there just a gap in the fence here somewhere? I mean, obviously. Oh, a big old open gate, maybe? On the Cannondale. Yeah, it's a great place to go up here and drink a beer and watch the sunset. And you think you might be able to, like, we've never had any trouble around here that I know of, like, so. No, I have not watched your shorts. That was a little louder. This is an old one, right? That's Patrick said the Large Marge in the chat is the industrial waste supervillain version after his poop pipe accident. Yeah. It'd be cool if we could get in the Goodyear test track. I think we played this last week, did we have this up last week? We could let it run too if as Large Marge doesn't care. Just go sub. So this is the downtown section. Well, we won't go this far, but this is downtown Cuyahoga Falls. So this is right down by the hotel and on the ride where the after party and all that stuff would be. So, and the shop he goes into is the one that the picture of the guy sitting next to me owns. So, Little Marge's perspective. It's a special GoPro attachment. I actually copied his, putting it on the top tube like that. And someone made the comment on my page. I didn't know they made GoPro attachments that small. So. Yeah, if you follow my regular Instagram feed, like I do all the photography for these coffee bars, so that's when I repost their like coffee shots. It's because they're my shots, but GoPro cock ring. Been there. Yeah, so this is what we call the Route 8 gravel right here that we'll hit up too. So those little bag of those Rick, you gave her your number. I don't think it's maybe because the streaming, it's not letting me play your videos in the highest level of quality. Yeah, let me try and bump that up to 1080. There we go. Yeah, I forgot this video is kind of a good preview of some of the route, actually. So this is what we call Honda Hills, and B. Vixer, who was in here earlier, was talking to somebody he works with, and I guess there used to be a Honda dealership right on one of these streets, and people used to go ride the Honda four-wheelers back here to test them out, and that's where the name Honda Hills comes from. We never knew why it was called Honda Hills, so everyone just says that. Stream crossing. It's like I was saying, we could go back here and ride this stuff too. It'll just, this really depends on the weather. Because if it's been raining, this is all mud and unrideable. People who like fresh coffee or Aaron. Nice, J Dandy. Rick said he uploaded a 2K video today on Apple ProRes, and it looked pretty good. Nice. Yeah. This is the kind of stuff where YouTube struggles with if you don't go 4K because it blocks up all those trees and stuff. YouTube just has a hard time with this at 1080. It needs the higher quality. Oh, another trash dump back there. I haven't been back there since it was frozen. The last video I posted that was all icy is when I was back here last. Pre-COVID coffee. When I'm out of coffee, I have some old stuff that I drink, and it's pretty wretched once you get used to good coffee. And you're better off not getting used to good coffee. Getting leggy? I am. I think this happened to us before late at night when I was playing other YouTube videos. It's not looking too bad on my playback, but I guess it's... I'll try and let the rest of it play through, and then... This here is more what we call the east side tracks, and this is what we were talking, the wider tires will really come in handy on this stuff. Like that right there is train gravel, you know. Yeah, this will be the real rough stuff. And it'll be a little more overgrown when we're doing it in June. It'll start to be, all springing up there, but yeah, this is real recent. This is just within the last 2 weeks or last week maybe. I might have asked you this IRL, Large Marge, but is that one of the songs you've been making on your own in your what were you using? Whatever program is on the Macs to make your own music so you don't get the copyright infringements? Or so I don't get the copyright infringements when I play your videos? Oh, Patrick said he loves the bricks we have. I know I talked about this on the stream and it might have been late one night, but it's a garage band. Yeah. A lot like so right across the Cuyahoga River here, I'm right by the Cuyahoga River. On the other side is the neighborhood called North Hill in Akron, and they're repaving almost all of the streets over there. And when they rip up the old pavement, and some of the streets are still those brick ones. Oh, that was not one of them? Okay. One of his songs. Like you see the bricks are there, and they look like they're in almost perfect shape. And I just wished they would just restore those and leave them the way they are. They last forever. I mean, they've got to be from the 1890s, 1910s. It's like on the streets of that era would be the houses, if I picture them. 1920s at the latest. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I'm glad we still have a bunch of them, but I wish it just seems it would make sense to leave even more of them. They still use them as the foundation for the street because they're so well built, right? They just pave on top of them. Once in a great while, you'll see them go and like redo a street and go down below the bricks. But yeah, that's for just my nerdy self. That would be something worth researching. Is when did they stop using bricks in like this part of the country? But it's cool too. So I just learned this fact, and I probably told this already, but there's a different kind of bricks on the real steep hills in Akron. And I was on a walking tour once, and we asked the person who was leading it, if the main history person on the walk, like, why are these bricks more narrow and they have these ridges? And they actually didn't know, but I since found out the answer, and it's because it was so horseshoes wouldn't slide down. So if there was a horse pulling a wagon up, the horseshoes would actually hit that little ridge on the bricks. We'll actually go over a hill like that on the ride too, so I could point it out to the people who really want to nerd out. But yeah. Anyways, I think that's like I'm pretty talked out. So bricks before chicks. And I'm out of beer. Well, I got this little sip left. Thanks again to Kenny at Missing Falls for the Pilsner. Thanks so long, and thanks for all the pills. It was delicious. Good change of pace. Been drinking tons of hazies, and so it's nice to drink something more like a cleaner, more classic style. But yeah, let's wrap it up. Like I said, wouldn't mind having Patrick on, wouldn't mind having Kenny on. He could talk about the brewery. I do have a couple more ideas to do some more bike maintenance, more bike maintenance down in the shop. So Yeah, get some stuff planned out on the weekend to keep it interesting, get some guests in here and all that kind of thing. And I have no videos ready to upload yet. Hopefully get something up this weekend, but I've just been busy making work videos, which is good because those pay the bills. But yeah, I want to get something out there. Hopefully something for the Monday, the typical Monday 7 a.m. upload. That's the one I try to never miss. So hopefully we get out this weekend. And like I said, the studio tour thing and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, that's all for tonight. Thanks for hanging out. It's always a blast. And I will see you guys Monday morning and Tuesday at the latest.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Cause
Yeah.
this is not
Fitzwater photo.